As you are aware, we are in a competitive, globalized world. After economic liberalization in the 1990s, whatever protective mechanisms, whatever tariff barriers were there, they were all dismantled. Now, to survive in this highly competitive global environment, each sector of the economy will have to do its best. Every segment of the society will have to contribute to the progress of this great nation. Steel being an important component of almost all aspects of life, be it the construction activity, which is a major sector, be it the manufacturing sector, be it the consumer goods, or any part, steel is the most important. It's the steel frame of steel of the country, of the economy. If such an important component of the economy, if it has to do well, the best minds shall be attracted to this sector. Innovation, I keep mentioning this, innovation is the key. To survive in this competitive world, you've got to be innovative, you've got to be smart, you've got to be agile. I firmly believe that public-private partnership is the only way to take this country forward. Government is good at certain things. Government should do what it is good at. Private sector should do what it is good at. Especially business is best done by private sector. Business, it's said, but initially the country did not have the kind of private sector that's required for taking this country forward. That's how government got into several aspects actually. See, and I'm glad that RINL is one of the Navratna companies. It has done exceedingly well. In fact, it has done better than even the private sector in being competitive and both cost competitive and in terms of quality and price. But there's still a lot of scope. A lot of your activities perhaps you can outsource. You can slowly induct private sector, okay, to be much more competitive. Because we must not forget that being complacent with whatever achievements we have achieved, okay, will make us uncompetitive. The way things have happened in several sectors, okay, India had a lead, say, in electronics initially, but today what happened? Not a single product we are able to compete internationally, and our country, practically every small component, including the mobile phones, we are getting flooded with imports and nothing is available in this country. Imagine the kind of forex outgo. That should not happen in this important sector. Okay, so we've got to be competitive, we've got to be cost competitive and in terms of quality, price, everything. So day-to-day innovation is the most important thing. People ask me about my project. Okay. This is a project that is being done in a completely innovative way, completely different from any other project in the world. There are 200 mass transit systems in the world. Less than half a dozen are built with partial public-private partnership, not full. This is the first of its kind in the world that a mass transit system of 72 kilometers is being attempted basically with private sector investment. Almost my project cost is about 14,132 crore, the main project cost, out of which 90% of it, 12,674 crore is coming from the private sector, L&T, who is our one of the great companies of this country, infrastructure companies of this country. Only 10%, that is 1458 crore, is being given by Government of India as viability gap funding. So this is a very bold attempt. In fact, all the experts, including my guru, with whom, for whom I have got a lot of respect, Dr. Sridharan, they wrote off this project because their argument is very simple. Nobody has ever done it in the world, so it can't be done. I said, just because of the fact that nobody has done it in the world, it doesn't mean that it can't be done. Somebody has to take a bold step. Otherwise, human history would have been completely different, would have been in caves, would have been in bushes. Okay? How human history has progressed has to be understood. somebody has to take this bold initiative, and I have taken this bold initiative with the help of Planning Commission at the time, Dr. Montpik Singh Ahluwalia helped me a lot actually. See, we did not have any documents, so we had to prepare the technical documents, we had to prepare the legal documents, we had to prepare a financial model for this. Okay, there are 200 mass transit systems, out of which only 4 are making money. There are Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo and Taipei. All of the systems are making heavy losses, and governments subsidize these projects because they are required for survival of a city. Cities beyond a point cannot survive without mass transit, rail-based mass transit systems. That's all for maintaining the air quality, better air quality in the cities. For maintaining the efficiency of a city, you have to have mass transit systems. But these are damn expensive systems. If I have to build a mass transit system, an elevated mass transit system, it will cost about 200 crore per kilometer. If it's an underground system, it will cost about 500 to 600 crore per kilometer. We don't have that kind of resources. For example, Planning Commission talks about $1 trillion requirement for the 12th plan, infrastructure sector development. They said that 50% of it should come from the private sector through the PPP route. You have seen the kind of change that has taken place. This example I keep quoting, the telecom revolution that has taken place in this country, no other country in the world has done it. 20 years ago, we used to be one of the lowest teledensities in the world. We used to be the highest tariffs in the world. From that stage, today we have become the second highest teledensity in the world and the lowest tariff in the world. How did we achieve it? It's because of the innovative path-breaking approach we have taken in this country. So this country is capable of achieving extreme things. On the one hand, we were inefficient in several things, but on the other hand, we have achieved tremendous success in many of the things, actually, be it the airports, be it the road sector, be it the ports, etc. We have done wonderful work. So there is tremendous scope. That's what we are doing this project differently. And I also mentioned this. I'm making use of this project, making use of a mass transit system. How do you redesign an Indian city as a people-friendly green city, as an eco-friendly city, as a city that is not meant for cars, but a city that is meant for people, for children, for old people, for women, for differently abled. So all these things I'm trying to, every day my project changes, I keep on adding new components to it, actually, both in Government of Telangana and Government of India. They say that, my God, you keep on increasing the scope of this work. How are you able to manage all these things without much cost escalation? So this how innovative approach will have to come into anything, and steel sector has got tremendous scope. All of us, many Telugus are emotionally attached to RINL because Vizag steel plant, as kids, okay, I also participated in what is called at the time, Vishaka Ukku, Andhra Hakku. So it's a dream thing for us. Today we are proud that actually RINL has achieved almost 7 million tons capacity, and I'm told that you have mega plans and you are trying to reach a target of about 20 million. Perhaps this will be the largest project, the largest company of the country to have a single location having that kind of a capacity. Got tremendous scope. Along with innovation, the most important thing is to understand the customer's needs. Okay? Unless you place yourself in the shoes of the customer, unless and until you dovetail your whole production system, your marketing efforts, your service orientation, everything to the needs of the customer, you cannot be competitive. You cannot be what is expected of you. So that way, it's very good that you have taken this initiative, having a nice interactive session with a broad customer base here. It's a very good step. So please follow it up. Actually, this kind of sessions, frequent sessions shall be held. Understand the requirements of the customers, bring in innovation, try to add value to this products, your products, whatever you are doing it. My own example, for example, say I am in this construction industry, I am in this infrastructure building too. Our requirement, for example, is about 2.3 lakh tons for this project of steel. Many of our things, actually, see, we are not able to get from the country. For example, our rails, head-hardened rails, we are importing from France. Half of my components we are importing from other countries, including the coaches, etc., because right now India doesn't have this kind of technology, or India doesn't have the production capacity. So we have to indigenize most of these things actually. See, we'll have to be a competitive economy. We have to bring in more and more efficiencies. We have to reduce our dependence on import, and we should be able to export. Tremendous opportunities are available. So this kind of a customer interactive session will help you to be competitive, to be number one in this country. So with this, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I expect that actually this will be a very fruitful session, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.